the expansion of systems like the Chestertown Wi-Fi and some of the things that you can get downtown for nothing, a person can get, but up on this end of town, it's not available.
That's a good question, and the way we did that was through a community legacy grant, and it took us a couple years to get the money. By the time we got the money, the systems were so streamlined, we were able to light up a larger area.
Right.
So lighting up an area like this, it's fine with me. It's never been brought up, and I think the reason why we want to reach out and talk to Washington Square and Kent Plaza is, what would that help you to have Wi-Fi out in your parking lots or in this area? Is that going to help you? Because some of the businesses downtown are able to catch that Wi-Fi. It wasn't really meant to give them their personal business Wi-Fi. It was meant to have the whole downtown so that tourists could, they could find things. They could sit there in our parks. I call it our outside library, and that's free because we get the Sailor network that does government to give us the broadband there, and that's why the downtown is lit up for free. That's what it's for, tourism. But you bring up a good point. How would it be utilized up here? Who needs it? Who's going to leave without it?
Again, kind of along those lines, and one of the things we need in order to help businesses is we need to know what they want from us too. And it has to work both ways. So if the business community said, "Hey, we'd love to get Wi-Fi up here," maybe that would become a priority because we work for you guys.
I was moved by Ed, and I thought his point was really good. And I wanted to mention that when I was campaigning for Armand Fraser Fletcher, everybody saw me and Gloria all over the place. We knew you were going to win the whole time, but it was great.
She says that now.
You gotta do what you gotta do. We had a good time. It was exhausting. It's physically
Yes.
exhausting, isn't it?
Oh yes, I'm aware.
I didn't realize politics was so physical, but it is. Anyway, I wanted to mention that among the many people I met doing that for Armand was the Mexican family that owns the grocery store in Austin Carpet Strip. That little strip mall is doing very well right now. Mr. Austin must be very happy. The Recovery Club has 2 units. The pawn shop is there now. The Mexican grocery store. It's a very nice family. They have a little boy who's, I think, middle school age. The school bus drops him right off there. I've gotten to know them very well, and their groceries and their juices and everything are really good. And I go around telling people, you like guava juice, you can drink as much as you want for cheap. You go on down to the Mexican grocery store, they go, what? What are you talking about? That's what I mean. That's getting back to what Ed was saying. I was going to ask the government, I was excited when I read probably Peter's article, Peter's so exciting in the newspaper. I just, I'm hanging on every word. Sometimes I email him complaints about things. But this is the part about the trolley system. I'm talking access to services. I have a social work approach to things.
Yeah.
Although I have a background in business. 20 years I was in business with my undergraduate in fine arts. So anyway, access to services. And you were talking at the town meeting about expanding the trolley system and helping people get about. And of course, again, most of the perspective was for downtown, but I'm interested in how's about cheap rides out to the rec department in Wharton. How's about the fact that a lot of children don't have $3 to go swimming or learn how to handle themselves in the water? How's about a dog leg over to Betterton if I do this 307 Main Street project and muscle up people to maybe talk to Peter Rice, I don't know, people, to see what I can do.
Yeah.
What about transport? We need more transport to help families and children get around. And one more point on economics. I gassed up tonight before we picked up Gloria to come here. And in my tiny little 15-gallon car, it was over $50.
Yeah.
You know, so transport, it's the #1 barrier to accessing anything, whether you're shopping or availing yourselves of services of some sort, or providing services of some sort in
That's an interesting
rural,
idea,
in
'cause
rural areas.
You're right, I know that we just had this task force report on suggestions for revitalizing the town, and they did recommend a trolley, but you're right, it was more for like, how do you get people from the marina up to High Street, but it might be interesting to look at just a town-wide trolley that could bring people, you know, from Calvert Street up to here, or from High Street out to Washington Plaza, so that's an interesting
There is a
idea.
bus.
Yes.
Well, then you step on my toes.
I was gonna
Maybe we just need to push you forward.
I think people would use the taxis more, I do, because there'd be more of a venue, a milieu of people moving about, of people getting around and doing things.
How do you advertise your taxi service?
We've done newspapers, just walking around, I've done flyers,
Yeah.
and, cause I've been in service with the taxi for about 6 years now. After the transportation cause we done back and forth to work. We would take them to Easton for $3 round trip,
Wow.
but then, the other company came in and they done it for $1.
Wow.
But of course, they getting federal money and
Yeah.
we couldn't compete against,
Is that the bus?
yes.
Yeah, there is a bus, but it's the least known thing around here. There's a schedule in the town hall for,
Right.
and in the summer, when we run our program, where we take kids from Chestertown out to the new community center, we run a bus twice in the morning, twice in the afternoon.
Yep.
And it gets loaded, it's great.
Mhm.
We don't do it all year long, cause kids are in school, but these are the kind of things we do need to know, is what we're missing,
We need more.
what we're missing.
We need more for families with children, way more. There are families with children languishing and are marginalized all over this county. The poverty, the negligence, the latchkey business, no one at home reading in Spanish or English. All you need to do is volunteer for the Judy program for 1 semester at the elementary school, and you'll see, there's no one at home reading. And it's known fact that little children, preschoolers, who have one person, anybody, who's tutoring them once a week, can be ready for kindergarten or 1st grade. If they don't have that, they start falling behind right away. And then you've got that big, ugly issue, the gap. The gap. What do we do about the gap? And last time I looked, I believe the lower shore and the upper shore of Virginia and Maryland were still #1 in unplanned pregnancies where children are exchanging body fluids at ages 12, 13, and 14. And it's just not something to pretend is not happening. You know, we since I moved here in '93 to take a job at the health department, people have been complaining about our children not having enough constructive, productive, good, clean, fun things to do. And there's businesses that can be had. I'm so sorry the Still Pond store burned down. I used to watch Spanky and the Gangs all the time, go in there, it was great. The little stores that were in Bigwoods and all those places have disappeared over the years. For those of you that have been here for decades, I'm sure you've seen it. The communities were much more self-sustaining.
Yeah.
And then the gentrification of the waterfront in downtown and the pushing out of blacks and the apologies that had to be made at the Garfield and all the rest of it. I mean, we have to deal with it and push back on that. And not pretend that things are fine. They're not fine. They are not fine. And we owe our children everything we can possibly do. And the last thing I'll say, I start to get pissed off, and I'm sorry, but I'm passionate about this. It makes me angry when I think about how tight-fisted people are in this county. God damn it. There's plenty of money here. There's plenty of money. It doesn't have to be the government all the time trying to dig down into pockets that don't have enough in it. If people would get off their butts and put their money where their mouths are and start to do projects and help families and stand up and herald our children, white, black, Mexican, and do things. There'd be more businesses, there'd be happier people, there'd be better education, there'd be people that are thinking, and everyone would be getting along more, and knowing each other. That's ridiculous to be talking to a recovering alcoholic and 2 doors down is a whole nother culture of wonder, and they don't know. They don't know. It's just,
Can I get back to the internet situation? Senator Mikulski, met with our county commissioners and people on the shore. Kent County is the smallest county in the state of Maryland, and there has been talk about making Kent County a pilot program for high-speed internet. I suggest that everybody up here in the plaza and talk to your neighbors and up at Washington Square and come to the county commissioners meetings, because, or you can go online and see what the topics are gonna be. You can see the agenda if you go online to, and the county commissioners meet every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. And, there's plenty of time for people, for responses from the audience, and, talk about the internet and find out exactly how far along they are and how far along this project is going. And then the second thing is, as far as, the town of Chestertown reaching out to, children in need, the town gives $10,000 in camperships to Parks and Rec out at the community center every summer. And it's, what's her name?
Myra Butler.
Yeah, Myra Butler works with Parks and Rec, and then in addition to that, the town gives $600 for transportation, which is the bus back and forth. I see a perfect opportunity if the need is there and if people use the service, for Mrs. Barrett to expand her business. I remember when you picked up at Chester River Manor, and, there's a service right here. And if we can direct people, if you have flyers down at the marina, people come in on boats, and we have flyers down there at our marina office, for transportation, just to call you. We could see if we could expand your advertising area.
Yes, I think we do pick up at, some of the marinas during the summer, real busy.
So, what is your pickup, how many times do you pick up at Chestertown Marina compared to like Haven Harbor or, Sailing Emporium or?
I'm not sure, Chestertown Marina has not been real busy for us. We got, like the marinas in Rock Hall, and what is the other one, Jamie?
You have Swan Point,
By Wharton.
Haven Harbor, and yeah,
Yeah.
out to Wharton, and, I mean, if we could help expand, your advertising base.